Okay, so 30 Seconds to Mars live at Capital FM Arena. Was it a fun experience? Definitely. Very different gig from what I've been to before. I suppose they've all been just purely either rock or metal, but these are a bit more mainstream rock, so perhaps that was a bit typical of what happens. Yumi at 6 was supporting them. They barely... It didn't seem to attract too many of the crowd, to be honest. It was quite boring, and I didn't really enjoy them that much, but I suppose their fans will be their fans, and the people who are there to see 30 Seconds to Mars were there to see 30 Seconds to Mars. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that. I'd have to give them a 3 out of 10. I didn't find them that entertaining, and to be honest, the fact that they I know I mentioned this in the previous video, the fact that they tried to start circle pits, I think they wanted 5 of them, and they started about one tiny one. It shows how much the crowd was actually paying attention to them. Now, 30 Seconds to Mars was an entirely different story because they were absolutely brilliant live, and it just shows that Jared Leto is a showman. He is absolutely brilliant as a frontman, and he's entertaining to listen to. Sure, he did swear quite a lot during the second song. I won't tell you what he said. But the people at the concert, and if he said it at any other concert, will agree with me with what he said. It was quite funny because he was giving the crowd a load of stick. So, what did they play? I think they played close to 20 songs, if not more, which is quite a lot. They played stuff off they didn't play anything off the first album, which is fair enough because not a lot of people know the first album, but they played a fair bit off the new album, a fair bit off This Is War, and a fair bit off of yeah, it is a beautiful line. The second album. Played an acoustic set. That was quite a fun one as well. The best song of the night I had to go to Up in the Air or The Kill, which The Kill was an acoustic, Up in the Air was loads of people on stage. The special effects were absolutely brilliant. There were lights, they had screens up and it was showing different things on the screens constantly. They had gigantic balloons which had confetti, and they had gigantic confetti cannons. One thing I haven't mentioned though is the acrobats. They had acrobats with them, but obviously I'm guessing if you've watched this you might have watched the other videos, so you already know. But if you don't know, they were doing different things, like they were doing flips. They also had taiko drummers. I'll go on to them in a minute. They were doing flips. They were there was one in this hula hoop sort of thing, and he was just spinning around, stood in it, holding onto it. That was absolutely crazy. That was. But yeah, and the taiko drummers. If you've seen the video for Up in the Air, they're the drummers that play the drums on it. Obviously, that was entertaining as well. But that whole concert was absolutely brilliant for 30 Seconds to Mars. Pure 10 out of 10. It was brilliant from start to finish, 30 Seconds to Mars, and I really hope they come back to the UK again soon.